All right, let's get right into it. What we're talking about today isn't just construction, not even close. We're talking about reclaiming labor itself, restoring real value, and building an economic order that's actually designed to last for generations. This is a blueprint for Dominion. And this is where it all begins. This is the foundational claim that sovereignty doesn't just stop at the church doors. No, it extends right into the marketplace, into the workshop, onto the craftsman's bench. Every single nail driven, every board cut is either an act of rebellion or it's an act of worship. There is no neutral ground. So, if that grand claim is true, and it is, then we have to face our current reality head on. We are living in a world that has systematically, and I mean systematically, devalued honest, productive labor. Let's take a hard look at how we got here. It's the question every craftsman, every builder, every single tradesman has asked themselves. Why does it feel like you're running faster and faster just to stay in the exact same place? Why has the dignity of a hard day's work been totally replaced by the constant anxiety of just trying to make ends meet? Now look at this. This chart isn't an opinion, it's hard data. For nearly 200 years, the value of 1 hour of your labor, measured in the stability of real gold, was on a steady, respectable climb. And then, 1971 happened. The dollar was completely disconnected from gold. And you can see the result for yourself. It's a cliff, a straight drop. That collapse isn't just a line on a graph, it's the story of your diminishing purchasing power. And here's the reason why. When we abandoned sound money for fiat currency, that's money just created by decree out of thin air, we turned our economy from a productive field into a casino. The system we have now, it punishes the savers and the builders while it enriches the financiers and the bureaucrats. It's a fundamental revolt against reality itself. But, a diagnosis isn't enough. If the problem is a revolt against the natural order, well, the solution has to be a return to the divine order. So let's explore the blueprint for how we actually restore it. You see, real restoration doesn't come from just tinkering with the current broken system. That's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. It requires a completely different foundation. This is about building on God's revealed law, the Torah, which is basically the instruction manual for a flourishing society found right in the first 5 books of the Bible. And this quote just brilliantly illustrates the shift in mindset we need. A fiat world always asks, how much can I get? But a world built on divine law asks, who am I becoming? All of a sudden, labor stops being just a transaction for depreciating dollars, and it becomes a forge for your character, a training ground for virtue, and the means of building a real, multi-generational legacy. Okay, so how do we make this real? How do we actually apply these principles in our collapsing economy? Well, the answer lies in recovering a time-tested model, the Guild. Let's be perfectly clear about the mission here. The Reformation Forge Guild is not just another LLC. It's a ministry of reconstruction. Think of it like an economic arc, designed specifically to carry families and communities through the coming flood of currency debasement and social decay. And here's the genius of how it works. This is a practical, robust machine. You've got an umbrella S-corp that protects the members with major legal and tax advantages. Underneath that, subsidiary LLCs allow craftsmen to really specialize and achieve true mastery in their trade. And then finally, a nonprofit tied arm bakes generosity and community care directly into the business model. It creates a structure that's both financially sound and spiritually obedient. These right here, these are the non-negotiables. The entire structure stands on these biblical pillars. It all starts with the Dominion mandate from Genesis, the call for responsible stewardship over creation. It includes big ideas like sphere sovereignty, the idea that every area of life, from your family to your business, has its own God-given authority. And it drills down to practical commands for honest scales, transparent bids, and a deep commitment to disciple the next generation. And this is what it looks like. This is the result. We completely reject the cheap, ugly, and disposable culture of modern construction. The goal here is to build things that actually reflect God's order, structures that are beautiful, durable, and an act of stewardship for the generations who are going to inherit them. So this brings us to a really radical idea. In this model, marketing isn't just about sales. Not at all. It's a prophetic call. Every single interaction with the client or a potential apprentice is an opportunity to call them out of a dying system and into a better one. Just look at this contrast. The fiat world gives you these adversarial contracts that are priced in a melting ice cube. They are inherently short-term and incredibly risky. The guild, on the other hand, operates on covenants. These are true partnerships, indexed to real assets like gold, which provide stability and predictability for both the craftsman and the client, all with a view toward permanence. And look, this isn't some fantasy. This is a strategic fortress. Using gold index contracts is fully legal under federal law. It creates what we call a hard money moat around the guild, protecting our labor from the very inflation we saw in that chart. It actually allows the guild to thrive when others are failing, literally turning recessions into the ultimate competitive advantage. And so we come to the final commission. This isn't just an invitation to some new business model. This is a call to build for eternity. Ruskin's words just cut right to the heart of it all. Fiat currency is an abstraction. Gold is just a tool. True wealth is life. It's fruitful labor, strong families, beautiful and endearing homes, and a community that is built on a foundation that absolutely cannot be shaken. So here we are, full circle. On the left, you see the problem we started with, that devastating chart showing 2 centuries of labor being systematically devalued by a corrupt monetary system. And on the right, you see the fruit of the solution: craft restored, value protected, and beauty created for the glory of God. The choice between these 2 worlds could not be more clear. So the question for every craftsman and every client listening is simple. Which story will you be a part of? It's time to stop cursing the darkness and start building. Claim your square inch. Join the guild. Let's get to work building the city of God.